Did I choose this song because I'm interested in classical music theory? No. Did I pick this song because the word Rondo always reminds me of Ronso from Final Fantasy X? Maybe. Yes. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sam Scott-Thorne and I am a vocal coach based in Glasgow. Now, if you'd like to meet and explore your voice a little more, you can find me on sstvocals.com. You can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook and Patreon, and I'll put my handles down below and over there. Over there. That riff is sneaking into every single intro, and I'm not liking it. But we're going to use it. Now, if you'd like to consider becoming a patron, you have access to things like early release of reactions. You can fast track reactions, become a reaction. There is special roles on my Discord server. There's also access to Patreon exclusive Vocal Anatomy 101 educational videos. So consider becoming a patron and help shape my channel. Right, we are listening to some more BABYMETAL. I have listened to Akatsuki, or Akatsuki. I hope I'm saying that right. I said it wrong in the first video because I didn't know how to pronounce it. But you all corrected me, thank you very much. And a few folks said, oh, this is their most like normal sounding song. So listen to some more. So I'm gonna listen to Rondo of Nightmare. Now, a rondo is a classical music term. The kind of easiest or simplest way to kind of boil it down is that it's a sequence that repeats itself, but it's interrupted by different sequences. So I'm thinking it's gonna be something that kind of loops and then has little kind of deviations as it goes along, I think. But we'll find out. So it's a biggie, it's 7 minutes long, so let's just get into it, shall we? Yours! Oh, my brain. Okay, I'm gonna have to take a second just to kind of catch up myself. So I'm thinking the sequence is gonna be or something like that, and it's gonna repeat and then change. Either way, this is so full sounding, it's so heavy. That drummer is just kicking the crap out of those drums. Amazing. It's just explosive right off the bat. I'm loving the Samara sisters, who are, I think, guys, but that is who they put me in mind of, so. Or what did I say last time? It was the Grudge Women and Samara from The Ring. And I stand by it. Anyway, wild. Let's keep going. These two guitarists are incredible. It's actually quite annoying that they look so alike because I'm struggling to pick them out. I can only kind of do it by looking at their guitars, because when those lights are down, all you're seeing is that kind of those dark eyes and that dark hair. It's wild how good they are though. That first guitar solo was just incredible. So fast, so fluid, and just like instinctual. It just sounded so free and easy. Oh, and then the second one, I mean, I've just interrupted it, so I apologize, but I assume it's going to be just as good. Just very quickly, that drummer just looked like he was just going about his day. So that kind of threw me. He's just very like so stoic and calm while this like immense sound is happening around him, and he's producing it. So like, blah. Oh, this is gonna fry my brain. I'm gonna be a mess by the end of this. How dare you! Oh my god. That bass solo was insane. He's playing a 6th string, not that that's important, but wow, that again, just so fluid and so easy sounding. It almost sounded like a Spanish guitar in parts. Just wow. I love these guys. Oh wow. He's so good too. Oh, this band are insane. I've not even listened to any vocals yet, and we're 3 minutes in. The speed and precision of his playing is just second to none. Absolutely gorgeous. Hit every single stab that he wanted, kept that rolling kind of bass drum sound going. Just, oh, gorgeous. I don't know if gorgeous is a word that's used in this context all that much, but that's the one I'm going with. This has actually got my heart racing. It's almost like something occult, like there's a spell going on. The way that she's come out from underneath and is still rising, and they're spinning around, and it's almost like that film 13 Ghosts. Do you remember that, when they were like stuck in the middle and everything was happening around them with the ghosts? That's what's put me in mind of. It's such a powerful visual. Oh! Wow, okay, so this is really complex actually. She's singing to a really complex rhythm. It's almost like it's on the offbeat at points. So that tells me that she is a really hyper-focused vocalist. A lot of folk would be kind of pulled off of their own rhythm by like following the drummer or the bass line. Everything's doing its own thing at the moment. It's very, very complex. And she's coming in there and kind of filling in that space. Just like before, there's a real kind of oral twang sound to her voice. So that's where the epiglottis kind of half closes over your vocal folds, changes the shape of the vocal tract, and makes that sound a lot more kind of pointed and punchy. In its purest form, it's like a kind of a baby sound. And when you mix that into your vocal, it just pierces through. Opera singers use this sound to kind of cut over the band. And in many ways, this is giving the same effect. Her voice is so twangy that it cuts through the sound of the full band because it produces way more harmonics up through the kilohertz. So that sound just punches out over everything. It's a really, really useful tool if you're a singer and you're up against a big band. Metal's mouth shape is really important in this context. She almost always has a little bit of a smile going on, and what that does is it just brightens the sound. It gets that twangy place and makes it even more pronounced. So even those ah sounds where you would think of dropping your jaw and going ah and getting a bigger resonant sound, she doesn't want that. She wants to keep everything on that higher plane. So in order to do that, she's using her mouth and her mouth shape to direct the sound in a completely different way. It's really, really good. She's so good. There's also a little bit of nasal twang coming through here. So that's where your soft palate or your velum is in play, and it's allowing airflow up through the nasal passages and the oral passages. So you get ha kind of sound. If you were to pinch her nose, that tone would cut in and out. Ha. I hope that's coming through the mic. And that's because the airflow is getting cut off when you do that, but not completely, because there's still a little bit coming through the oral passage. It just helps in kind of compressing that sound and making it even more slick. Her voice is almost perfectly suited to this type of band because it sits on a completely different place and the band doesn't drown her out and she doesn't completely cut over the top. There's a real nice balance that goes on with this band. Very, very good. So that is, I'm assuming, a preset or a pre-record. It's an effect that kind of pulls that voice sound into the back of the mix. So it sounds almost like it's being played on an old gramophone in so many words. There are ways that she is making that sound even more kind of muffled. She's almost not moving her mouth at all. I would imagine there's a slight compression in her tongue as well. So that's where you would ball your tongue into the middle of your mouth so it's not touching anything. Gives you a real muffled kind of closed off sound, but at the same time it's got a little bit of push to it as well. So either their sound tech knows at that specific point to turn that preset on and then turn it off before she starts singing again. I'm assuming it's going to go back to the way it was, or it's a pre-recorded couple of lines in there in order to really push that little break in the song. But either way, amazing. Let's keep going. Wow, she held that note for ages. Obviously, she's got really good breath control then. I'm assuming that she's filling the bottom lobes of her lungs and kind of crunching that out so that she stops the diaphragm from raising so much. It means you get a lot more bang for your buck breath-wise. Also, when you're twanging that sound out, there's very little airflow in that anyway, so you've got quite a lot to work with. She's anchoring through this whole thing, so she's using her back muscles and her pectoral muscles to stabilize her body and then take a little bit of the weight out of her larynx. So she's not having to like really thrash at her voice in order to get these sounds projected. She's anchoring and letting that effort spread out so that it kind of happens a little bit more easily. She's really good. Was she like 17 or something? It's just wild. Oh, I could have just waited the extra like 4 seconds and just stopped at the end. Anyway, that was just amazing. This band are just so good. They're so fresh and innovative, and it's not like stuff I've heard before. It's almost like the beginning of an anime. You know, at the start it's always like quite heavy sounding, and then they've got that like sweet little song at the end. They are very much at the beginning. They're the opening song. So hope you liked that reaction. If you did, please give it a like and a thumbs up down below. And if you want to see more from me, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and anytime I have new content, you will be the first to know. So I guess all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me. And how are we going to buy this one? I don't even know. So I guess all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me, and that was sublime, but I must say goodbye. But please make sure that you like and that you are subscribed. I don't think that was actually even in the song, but that's what we're going with. See you later. Bye.